everyone, it's Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com. I know, it's not my normal day, but I was inspired by some YouTube crafters that are getting together to create Christmas projects all year long. I found out about it by Tracey at Tys Creates, and the two YouTubers that came up with the idea were Lisa at Happy Crafter and Paulette Fullard, and I'll link all their channels below. But the idea of it is that anybody can jump on board, and you just have to create a Christmas project and upload it, ideally the last Saturday in the month, every month. Although I'm a little bit late on that one because I kind of jumped on board a little bit late. But just upload it with the hashtag CCAY2020, and that's Christmas Crafting All Year 2020. So I thought, if we're starting early, let's start getting organized early. And I actually created this Christmas organizer. It's 7.5 inches long by 2 inches deep. And I used a magnetic clasp on it, but you could use Velcro dots as well. And inside there's some envelopes, and I used the 5x7 envelopes, which are actually 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, to create some different categories that I want to organize through the year. Now I have a calendar because I have certain dates that I want to get things done by, and I'll put that calendar in there. I have a card list, and I printed this one out actually from organizedchristmas.com. I have also a present list, and you can see it's empty at this point because we create presents. We actually use handmade or just little local artisan presents. Try to be thoughtful, but not expensive, but just let people know that we are thinking about them. I have a bin for receipts if I buy things early, and which would be really nice because we're starting in January, I have a place for money. And I thought that would be a really great thing because they have some wonderful weekly savings plans, and certainly you can find several of them, or you can create your own. Now we are actually in week 4 of the year, but if you start now and put $20 away every single week until I'd say about week 46 or 47, because that's where Thanksgiving lies, then you'll have about, I don't know, $940 at the end of the year to spend. If you put a little bit more, maybe $25 away, you can actually go over $1,000. So if you save just a little bit every week now, you can actually have a wonderful Christmas, focusing on family and friends, and you'll have a little bit of extra cushion of money to buy some of the things that you want to buy. So getting an early start is a great thing. All right, let me put that back in there. And I printed this one from lemonsandlattes.com, and I'll link these below as well. And as you can see, each of my envelopes has a little liner in there from the same paper pack. And I matted the front and the back, and I'll show you how I did that. And then I just made a little embellishment by punching out some snowflakes from some glitter paper. For this project, I used an 8x8 inch paper pad, Merry Little Christmas, and I actually bought this one maybe last year or the year before at maymaymadeit.com. She had some really pretty papers. For the project I'm doing today, I'm going to use a paper pad that I got after Christmas from Michael's, and it's a Craft Smart 1 Evergreen Cabin, and I really like the way it looks because I'm using some craft envelopes, and I think that they go well together. What you need for this project is a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 inches by 11, and I've already scored this one at 2 inches, 7.5, and 9.5. You also need a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 square, and score this one also at 2 inches. For the handle, I used the piece I cut off of the side of my bigger piece of cardstock and cut it down to, this one was 8 inches, but I think it is a little bit high, so I cut this one down to 7 inches and scored 1 inch on each end, and I already prepared it by rounding the corners, so that's my handle. You need as many envelopes as you want, and I'm using 5 envelopes, and these are the ones that fit the 5 inch by 7 inch cards, so these are 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And I have 5 of them, but you can put in as many as you want to. I'm sure up to 12 would fit if you want to use it for a different type of organizer. For each of the envelopes, I have a piece of pattern paper to go inside and make it look a little prettier. And these are 5 inches by a little less than 7 1/4. I want it to go from side to side in the envelope, but it's not quite 7 1/4 because it does fit down inside the envelopes. Now I also put some tabs on my envelopes, and to make those I actually just used a punch I had. Actually the last one, I actually used the old Retire punch from Stampin' Up, but use what you have, some ovals, some squares, you can cut little rectangles. And I just went ahead and hand wrote on this one. The other one I used my brother label maker, but I just hand wrote my 5 categories that I wanted: card list, gift list, calendar, money, and receipts. And to mat the front and the back, use 2 pieces of pattern paper that are 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I'm using this pattern from the same paper pack for the front, and just a plain one that I cut from that same 12 by 12 piece of paper for the back. For the top, you'll need a piece of paper that is 7 1/4 by 1 3/4. And for the front, you'll need a piece of paper that is 7 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then whatever you want to embellish with. All right, so let's go ahead and get our envelopes together first. Okay, so let's go ahead and prepare our envelopes first. I went ahead and I already sealed them, and it doesn't matter if it's the square style or the angled style. Just make sure it's sealed all the way. If you need to add a little bit of extra adhesive to the corners to make sure it is sealed, go ahead. And then I put it on my trimmer and I cut this down to 5 inches. So I have the bottom that's sealed and it turns into a pocket, like that. Okay. And now I'm going to prepare my inserts. And I went ahead and lined them up the color that I want them. I lined them up the way I wanted to. I want the money in the back, the receipts next, a gift list, a calendar list, card list, and then my calendar list. And for speed, I'm just going to go ahead and put a strip of the Tombow Extreme. And first one I'm going to put all the way at the left side, about halfway down. I'm going to do the back one next, and I'm going to put that one all the way to the right side. The center one will come next, and I'll put it right in the middle. And I'm going to put it right in the center. And the other 2, I just kind of estimate. I'll put these together a little bit better, and I'll just kind of estimate it halfway in between the centers and the edges. All right, so when they're all lined up, this is how they'll look. All right, so I'm going to put some glue on the back of each one of these and tuck them into an envelope. And I'm going to tuck it so that the front side is the solid side and this gets tucked in. So it hides, when you're looking at it this way, it'll hide the seam in the back and it'll make it look pretty. All right, let me go ahead and do all those and I'll be right back. All right, so now that I have all my envelopes together, I'm going to stick them together to each other by just putting some tape right in the center, side to side, and center top to bottom. And I'm going to put a little extra glue just to make sure it sticks. Line them up together and squish it down. Okay, so they end up being like that. Do the same thing for all the rest of them. All right, so these are all together, and let me go ahead and work on the organizer. So we have a 7.5 by 7.5 inch square, and it's scored on the 2 inches, and that's going to be the bottom. And then we have our other 11 inch by 7.5, and it is scored in a few places, but there is also a 2 inch score that is the bottom, and we're going to just glue the bottoms together. And once you've got them together, just go ahead and fold it to make sure everything lines up side to side. Okay, let's go ahead and mat them now that it's flat. And I'm going to start the mat with my front corner. Now you can do some corner edge treatment if you want to, but the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to put the magnet there. So I'm using this magnet, and you can use smaller magnets or even Velcro dots when you're done. Velcro will work very well if you want to use that instead. But I'm going to center it right in the center, side to side and top to bottom, so I have room for my paper to go around it. All right, and I'm going to put some tape. You could put some glue dots as well, and right around the outside of this, I'm going to make sure I have a lot of glue. And then go ahead and put it on the rest of my strip. And this is the 1 1¼ inch by 7¼ inch. Go ahead and center that and glue that down. And I'm going to turn it over and actually press the cardboard down around the magnet because I want to get the front looking as flat as possible. And I think it's especially important to make sure that you seal on the top and the bottom because there's not much paper there. So hold it down until you know you got it sealed above and below the magnet. All right, let's go ahead and mat the front now. And now we want to do the other side of the magnet. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there because I know that's where it matches up. And then I'm going to put some of the Tombow Extreme right on the back of it. And then I'm going to hold this together the way that it closes, and this top will go right up into that score line. And then press it down. And that will help me get the magnet in the right place. All right, so go ahead and press that down. And this one actually has one side that's adhesive, so I'm going to take that off. And then make sure I have some glue right around there. And then I'm going to put glue on this one, which is the front, because I wanted the buildings in the front. All right, and same with the top. I'm going to actually turn that over and push down around that magnet so I keep the front paper as flat as possible. Okay, and now we just mat the rest of them. This is the 7 inch by 1 inch, and I went ahead and scored it at 1 inch on both ends, and I'm going to glue it, and I'm actually going to staple it as well. So let me put some of this on there, and because I want it to stick, let me go ahead and center it all around on that one portion. Same with the other side. And I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to staple it and put the good side of the staple down and the rough side on the top because I'm going to hide that. All right, so I went ahead and decorated it, and after I stapled that on, I put a little scaled circle punch, 7/8 inch, and embellished it with some wooden snowflakes. I layered some glittered silver and white snowflake punches with another wooden element snowflake. All right, so let's go ahead and put our envelopes in. So go ahead and open that up so you're ready. And here are the envelopes. Remember, we went ahead and sealed them, put a liner on the back of them with a tab, and then we glued them together just in the center portion, just along the center portion. Now we're going to do that the same for the front and the back. So let's go ahead and on the top half of the center of the front, we'll go ahead and glue it. And I'm going to put a couple of strong tape just to stick it first, and then put some liquid glue, which will keep it in the long haul for the front. And let's go ahead and line that right up, side to side, right on that score line, so I'm right on the front. And then we'll go ahead and stick it right to the front. Okay, so I have that stuck to the front. And now we're going to do the same thing to the back. So I think this is a very decorative and fun way to organize yourself for Christmas all year round, so you can truly enjoy the wonders of the Christmas season without feeling rushed or hectic. Now let me put my master gift list in the gift list envelope. And I have my Christmas card list, but certainly if I have some of my Christmas cards or envelopes left over, I'll go ahead and start filling this one out now. The person who sent it to me, their updated address, so I have it all together. Or if I'm in a rush, I'll just take the return address off of the envelope and just tuck it right here in this pocket. And I'll link where I got these two from, or certainly you can make your own. And then of course, if you start your weekly savings now, then you can have a little bit of a Christmas nest egg to help with your Christmas spending. So I hope you enjoy this Christmas crafting idea all year round. And look for other videos, which are hashtag CCAY2020. And that's hashtag Christmas crafting all year 2020. And I hope you have the joy and peace of Christmas all year round, holding that love of the babe in the manger in your heart. If you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of new videos as I upload them. For more information on this project and others, please visit rejoiceandcreate.com. And as always, until we meet again, I hope all your days are blessed. Bye!